Sometimes enjoy life.
Amazing, no.
I have to do it.
Please let me do this.
Okay, so I think I have everybody muted now. Great.
Yes.
So, welcome to, I think this is the third one of these series, this sessions that I'm doing. So happy to be here. Just a little bit about today and why I decided to set up this session. So first of all, I call the session Become a Tech Expert in 30 Days. And some people were like, oh, how can you become a tech expert in 30 days? So we're going to talk about that and what exactly that means. But before I get into that, you know, so a lot of you might have technical background. So you're here, maybe you just want to learn more about how you can improve your technical skills. Or some people, you might just be interested in technology, but you know, you've never really known how to get into it, or you had the impression that you had to go back to school and go study for 3 years and do a full degree to get into the tech space. Or maybe, you know, you're just here because you just want to just listen in and just see, oh, maybe it's something you're interested in or not. Whatever the case might be, we're here to answer a lot of your questions and really to get you started on the right foot. So just a little bit about myself. So my name is Joan, and I'm a lot of things, including I'm an author. Oh, so today I'm extremely happy because my new book just published yesterday. So I'm super, super excited about that. So I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, and I'm so many other things. But one of the things I do is I set up this company called My Soft Landing. And the mission is really just to help people integrate into Canada. Because I found that a lot of people were coming into Canada and didn't know what to do or had to start from scratch and really, really suffer to integrate and really get to that point where Canada became a dream and not a nightmare. So that was really the reason for me setting up My Soft Landing, to really, really help new immigrants who are coming into Canada, or people who even aspire to come into Canada, to find the easy way and learn the tips and tricks of how to not just move to Canada, but also how to thrive. So I also do have a day job, and I manage a lot of technology teams. So I work very closely with technology, even though I consider myself as non-technical. But having said that, I did study what is now called computer science. And, I remember when I was doing my Java programming class, and, back then, writing code was just hell. Like it took me like 3 weeks just to get Hello World, which is the first thing you learn as a developer. It took me like 3 weeks to get the thing to even compile and run correctly. Like I'm there debugging and all that. But that was years ago. Again, not to tell you what my age is, but that was a very long time ago. And today, it's way easier to get into technology. Like you no longer have to go to school for 3 years just to become a developer or to work in a technical role. And those are some of the things that we really, really want to address today. If you have an appetite, I think part of the registration, you also saw the kind of mindset that you need to be able to thrive in this role. Like every role in life, every job, every career has their nuances and, things that help you succeed. And we had sent out a list of 10 mindset shifts, things that you need to do if you're going to thrive in this role as a tech expert. So back to my question, can you be an expert in 30 days? No, you can't. But what you can get in 30 days is enough skill set and knowledge to get started, at least to get a job. Most jobs, 90% of most jobs, you will learn as you grow. But particularly with this role, this type of role, it's always evolving. Technology changes every day. So you have to have that natural flair for wanting to be a lifelong learner, wanting to learn new things, always being on top of your game, and just being there, just continuously learning. So no, you will not be an expert in 30 days. Like you may never even be an expert because technology is changing every so often, but at least you will have the knowledge and the skill sets to get in there and get a job and start your career in technology. So a couple of things for those of you who might be sitting on the fence, you're not sure, I want to do technology. Why should I do technology? Hey, technology is not going anywhere. These roles are going to be in demand for at least till we're all in the grave. It's going to be in demand for a very, very long time. And one of the other things about these kind of roles is you don't need to be speaking too much English. Like, to be honest, nobody cares about your accent. Like, technology is so global. Programming languages are so universal. You don't need to go and just start, thinking about, oh, my accent, or I need to speak, or I need to make presentations. You're not really making any presentations. You're just there. You do what you need to do between you and your laptop, and they just see whatever it is you've built, and everybody's happy. So it's really good for people who are maybe shy or afraid or don't want to be in jobs where they're presenting all the time or having to speak and dealing with corporate politics, you're talking to 1 million people and trying to be politically correct. With this kind of roles, you pretty much, they just give you what the requirements are and you just go ahead and just implement. So it's a very good role for people who maybe don't want to interact too much or who don't want to make presentations or who are like, oh, my accent, they're not going to understand me or whatever it is. So it's a very good role for that. And one more thing, the last thing I'm going to touch on before I hand over to Samuel. Technology is one of the roles where it doesn't matter what your age is. Like I had on one of my teams a couple of years ago, this guy was 67. Like when he told me he was 67, I was like, first of all, I was like, Kai, God forbid, this can never be my portion. But, you know, I said to him, I said, why? And he said, you know, I retired when I was 60. And then after 5 years, I kind of missed it. You know, and I just said, you know, I'm in technology. I can always come back. And he came back and he got a job straight. And this is jobs paying over $100,000, not small wages. Like he came back and was like, oh, I'm just going to keep coding for the next, you know, till I'm 75 and then that's it. But a lot of roles, like even like sales and all these roles, once you're past a certain age, nobody's interested because they're like, okay, you're too old, you know, you're not as agile, you're not as, you know, flexible, you're not as, you know, you're not as presentable as you need to be for this role. But these kind of roles that are really, really behind the scene, you can be whatever age, it doesn't matter. You can look whatever way, you don't have to dress up, you're in jeans every day. You know, it's just very, very laid back and you're able to apply a lot of creativity to the work that you do. So I just want to encourage everybody here today, you know, take a lot of notes, listen. We're going to leave all the question answering to the end, just so that we can get through everything that Sam is going to say, you know, but whatever you do at the end of this, you need to decide, are you going to stay where you are or are you going to take action? Because really to get to live the kind of life that I'm talking about, where you're making 6 figures easily, and that is like, when I say easy, like even the junior developers are making 6 figures, like easily, you know, being able to be creative, being able to own the work that you do, you know, constantly growing, learning new stuff, then you really need to take action. You need to listen to Samuel. Samuel's going to tell a bit about his story. Like he's been in Canada, like when they say JJC, he's new in Canada. I mean, I'm now old in Canada, but he's new in Canada. But what he's accomplished in this little period of time, like, trust me, it's such an inspirational story. And he's here to really show you that if he can do it, you can do it. And he wants to hold your hand and really guide you so that, you know, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. Like I said, technology is the same languages, they're all universal. You can learn skill sets that you can start to apply today. If anybody can get a job from Nigeria and Canada, you've got to be in technology. We all know that. Like, that's the only job that hires people. People like, oh, can I get a job in Canada? Yeah, go into technology. That's where you can get a job. You know, so really, really listen, you know, take notes and leave your questions to the end. You will get a copy of the recording of this tomorrow, and we'd love to hear from you and see how you feel. So I'm going to keep quiet now because I can just go on forever. And I'm going to hand over to Samuel, who's going to be talking for the next 30 or so minutes, and then we'll go into the Q&A. Thank you. Over to you, Samuel.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate the introduction. You know, myself and Joe knew, you know, why we both worked at Bell Media, which is, you know, people regard as #1 telecommunication company in Canada. That's where we met, and, you know, everything all started from there. Like she rightly mentioned, my name is Samuel Egbailo, and I came into Canada in 2018, April precisely, which is 2 years, probably 2 months now. And I've been in the IT industry for quite some time. I started IT basically in the year 2000, but officially started working, you know, in IT in 2005. However, when you're talking about Samuel, you're looking at a solution-focused, resourceful, highly motivated IT, you know, with core skills in system administration, mobile device management, application packaging, operating system deployment, upgrade and security patch management, and cloud. You know, I've worked with different kind of companies, you know, across the globe. And I've got lots of awards, you know, from the US, Dubai, different organizations. And currently I work with Kinross Gold, which is #1 gold mining company in the world. I manage 25 sites in 25 countries across the globe. We're talking about infrastructures in Russia, managing infrastructure in South America, in North America, in Africa, you know, and Canada, which is part of North America. And what I do is I work as a system sender configuration manager. Okay, and before then, I've worked with a couple of companies in Canada, and even though it's just 2 years, before Kinross, I worked with Bell Media, where I met Joe, and I was the digital technical manager. Before then, I worked with All States Canada. You know, I was a system technical support analyst, and before then, I worked as a consultant with CGI Group, which is end user services, all multinational organizations. You know, it all sounds so nice, you know, telling you about how juicy the whole thing is. But when I came into Canada, I did ad labor. I work at where they produce irons and where they produce biscuits, you know. And I kind of think, is this the kind of life, you know, I want to live in Canada? I've seen Black folks, you know, even before meeting Joe, which is of a great success and inspiration to many people today, you know. And, you know, I said, no, I was a senior system administration working at NMPC before coming to Canada, you know, finding myself doing ad labor. This cannot feed me and could not even meet up to the standard. But one thing that really matters in life, it's all you having focus, inspiration. Who exactly would I want to be, right? Not what people says I can be in an unknown land. You know, nothing different, Canada, Nigeria, any part of the world. IT is IT, just the same way Joe has already said. You don't need to learn anything new, you know, in terms of, when I come in, you know, XYZ, I need to change my strategy. Fine, strategy is good. What you've known back home, you can translate back here. It's just all about strategy, packaging, and you focusing, you know, on what you want to sell, you know, because a lot of Nigerians get it all mixed up. In the IT industry, in back home, we do, you know, a lot of things. When you say you're a computer person, everybody expects you to know everything. You know, coming in here, you say, oh, I know everything. You come in and you realize that you don't know anything. Not that you don't know, but here in Canada, we focus more on specialization. But it is good to have understanding of the entire IT, right? Then the thing is this, how do I get to where I am today? You know, coming into Canada, like I mentioned, I believe so much in what I know when I was coming in. And I came into Canada, it was difficult for me to get my first job because everybody will tell you, you need a Canadian experience. It's a very big thing, you know, but, you know, having someone like me on board, having Joe on board, it is easier for you to transit, you know, from any part of the world into Canada and you land on your dream job. There is nothing difficult. You know, it's just all about you remaining focused. And we'll always be here to ensure you transit smoothly, you know, to ensure you get that job which you're looking for. When it comes to IT, there is no barrier. You know, as like Joe said, that someone 65 still feel, you know, left out after leaving the job and decide to go back. You know, you can learn IT any part or any age you are. You know, be 50, 60, if you have fair for it, you can learn and get your dream job at the same time. When you're moving from one kind of IT skills to the other, you are just like someone with a little knowledge or no knowledge in that field. So inspire yourself to be as well and say, I'm going to learn something new. Make your open mind and you'll be able to learn as much as you can. You know, before now, I've lectured, consult also, mentored a lot of people, and now they have a good job, you know, to achieve what they want, and they had a change in orientation. You know, you don't need to be an expert overnight, like Joe said, to get what you're looking for. But something will get you there. Continuous practice, you learn on the job. What you've learned in the past, you just need to think beyond continuous improvement, you know, to be able to ascertain, gain a ground, and you're just where you want to be. Okay, and you will continue to grow during the process of you developing yourself as it goes. There are a lot of IT jobs which you can do here, right? Once you, taking an example, you're in Nigeria, you are into hardware. Here, you don't need to say, oh, I want to be a computer engineer. There's nothing like that. You know, you'll be seeing something like consulting end user services, you'll be seeing technical support, you'll be seeing help desk technical. They are all embedded into one thing which you do in Nigeria, but you can, or any part of the world, but you can break it down and use it to get the kind of dream job that you're looking for. And it's easier for you to transit from one skill set to the other because you have everything, but you don't have to use everything to look for a job. But you can use each one of them to move from one job to the other until you get a job that suits you, you know, or the high pay job where you're going or where you are at any point in time, right? 2 years now in Canada, I have 2 companies that is operational, apart from the fact that I work with Kinross. I have a company called Crossword Technology, and what it does is web development, you know, and software development. And lately, I opened a new company called Crossword Solution Technology, corporation. And what does it do? Sell solutions, manage IT services for small and medium scale enterprise. And we see ourselves in the year to come, to be one of the top, organization within Canada, bidding for large corporation. We do a lot of trainings as well. Okay, so that's what in 2 years now, what I've been doing in Canada, and we offer IT trainings when you're coming fresh into Canada. Okay, and part of IT trainings which we're offering has to do with, we're offering high demand jobs in Canada when it comes to IT. We're offering what we call Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager, which everybody knows that SCCM. Okay, now from that SCCM itself, you could get as many jobs as possible. In SCCM, you see people getting a job as patch management. You see people getting a job as application package deployment, officer. You see people getting help desk job that has to do with SCCM. And we have different levels when we come to level 1 support, level 2 support, level 3 support. And when we talk about SCCM, it's just basically used for managing device across board. And that is how I manage 25 companies, 25 in 25 locations, manage their resource from a single console from Canada. Okay. Apart from that, we're offering trainings relating to SQL, structural querying languages. And some people will say, oh, I do business analysis at home. How can I integrate into, this when I come to Canada? Now, when you go into just business analyst, the pay is small, but you can do better. What does a business analyst do? A business analyst is like analyze data, you allow business to be able to take decisions, but there's something key that you need, which is the SQL. You learn the structural querying language while doing your SCCM. We also offer it as a course. So when you know how to deal with data, you can be able to advise any organization, with real life data for them to be able to take critical business decisions. And as that, you play a key role in any organization. It is what we offer, and we'll be learning different programming languages. Now, some people do ask me questions. I say, oh, I'm getting old. I have too many things to do. How do I learn to learn programming? Now, life is easier. Anything that has to do with programming has a user interface, which is the graphics. Now, as you're doing the graphics, you continue to look at how it transposes into coding, and you learn it bit by bit along the job, along constant practice, and you're used to it. You get what you're looking for. So being a business analyst, you can get a job as a data analyst. You can get a job as a data and business analyst, and you can get a job as a database administrator. We offer cloud. Today, all organizations are moving into the cloud system. Now, with this pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of people will still lose their jobs. It's not that I'm praying that they will. And the reason why I said that is this: everything is going global. And the reason why a lot of people lost their jobs, company folding, is that they never predict that this kind of incidents can happen, in the recent time now. So all what they do is local. So organizations now are trying to transmit what they do local into cloud. And it's not just by transmitting because of pandemic. They look at different aspects when it comes to cost savings, flexibilities, disaster recovery, collaboration, scaling, document control and competitiveness. So people look at all that aspects to ensure that they move to where they're going. Now, anything you learn, you transmit. It's always a constant practice. And, this comes from success stories as well. I know cloud, which is Azure, and I got to Kinross Gold. They had a lot of challenges which I was unable to solve. But because I continued developing myself with Microsoft Azure, I was able to integrate that knowledge into the SCCM I work. And that saved the organization from flying devices from one country to the other, or one location to the other, to be able to transmit information. So information is key, and you can get to where you're looking for at any point in time. Like in IT, a lot of people get discouraged when they come in, and you cannot get to your dream job overnight. Like Joe know my story. When I came in, my first IT job, I was earning $22 an hour, right? And I have families. I was like, how will I cope? I can't continue to live on credit card. I said, I have skills. Why not apply? How can I apply? I need to develop myself. Okay, I'm good in IT. Oh, that was not good enough for me to get a good job and be competitive among the Indians, among the Pakistans, the Americans. These are people you'll be working with. Canada is a cultural environment. So you meet with people, diverse, in technology. And back home, we feel so much relaxed when it comes to IT. Oh, I'm the king of all. You go to office where you want to go. You do what you want to do when you want to do. But the case is different in Canada. It's continuous improvement. You're afraid to be left out. You're afraid to lose jobs. And you want to be able to switch jobs on yourself, not until when you're asked to go. So that is IT. In IT jobs, basically on the iPay, you'll be looking at Microsoft Azure, you'll be looking at AWS, and their average salary in Canada is $120,000. Some entry starts with like $35,000, per year. It's little. You can't focus on that. Everything has to do with how you apply knowledge, how you sell yourself, but you can get as high as $165,000, within a few years. Like I said, I started $22 an hour, and today I earn $80 an hour plus HST. And approximately looking at that, you're looking at $190-something thousand, per annum. I'm just telling you that you can apply your skill set to get where you're looking for at any point in time. When you come about data analyst that I mentioned the other time, you get an average salary, of $55,000, per year. But if you merge both data analyst and business analyst, you could get 73, 75. That is the average, not how far you can go. You can go 100, 120, and how far you can sell yourself, like I said. SCCM, the basic, you get 79,000, on the average. Some people will tell you, 104, 120, but come on, you can get 180, 190. I got inspired by Joe, when we work at Bell Media. I was like, I'm going to get there. And it's not just the word of mouth, continue developing in IT. Now, where we now come in, leave all the jokes, where we now come in is people come into Canada, you believe that you know IT and you get frustrated when you say Canada experience. And you're like, back home, I'm a manager, or I was a manager. I'd rather go back home. I'm tired. I can't do any other job. That is where Crossword comes into existence. That is where my soft landing comes into existence. If you train through us, we can refer you that you're working with us, and we can do your reference. Now, we have earned the trust, and the companies that we work with in the past had earned our trust. We do interviews even for people, they refer back to jobs. That's how far we're connected. And there are people that have learned through us, and they're also in a better job, which is easier for us to refer you. So you're just focusing your 3 months when you come into Canada to get that skill set you're looking for, either being fresh into IT or have knowledge and you're trying to focus on the high pay jobs in Canada. Then we're there. And on your resume, you can put it there. I tell you how I got my first job after leaving hard work, but I didn't tell you what happened. After I got frustrated, I have a friend in Canada that has a company, and I said, can you put my name on your company? Let me put your company on my profile so I can say I work for you and be able to earn my living. It was when it worked for me, I realized that the key way to fill that gap of where you're looking for is to have where you could lay your shoulder on. You could get anybody that have a company, but they might not be able to speak well for you to be able to get a job, which is just like the same way you're coming fresh into Canada. But in this situation, we're giving you knowledge that will serve as a base for expansion on how far you can go in Canada, and we can refer you at any point in time. So that is it from my side. And like Joe said, we'll welcome different questions from the IT fields. I will be able to give you more. When it comes to soft landing, Joe is the expert, and she's an extra inspiration to me as well. So that is it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to meet you guys in person. Now, before I forget, our training is not just focused in Canada. We have invested so much in resource. Forget the number of years the company started. We've invested so much resource that anywhere you are in the world, we can train you, and we have the resource that you can connect to. Why connecting to Microsoft to get a Azure space that you'll be paying monthly to use their resource, right? Why pay AWS, which is Amazon, to get a space to work? We will give you all you need, for you to be able to develop yourself. Working through us, you'll be able to develop more than 50 labs while you're working with us. And we will train you until we're sure that we can refer job, for you to be able to work on. So that is it from my side. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that was a lot in a very short period of time. And for me, like he said something that is very, very key, you know, and it's true. A lot of people, especially people when they come to Canada, like nobody wants to give you a chance. Let's be real. Like if you ever went to a company and say, oh, this is my first, I've never done this before, this is my first time. They're like, okay, okay, good luck. Nobody wants to give anybody that first chance to get in and get their hands dirty. People are looking for people who are experienced. And that's why, you know, like you can go get training from so many different people. But one thing I liked about Samuel's setup is that they also have projects that they work on. So as part of your training, you get that hands-on experience. You're also working on their own projects, and you can use that when you want to apply for jobs because now you have hands-on experience. So it's not just you've learned all the theory of it. Now you also have a real world, real life, real time experience that you can speak to in your interviews, because at the interview phase, people just want to be sure that you've done this before and you can do the job. So you're able to sell yourself better because you've actually done it. And you have somebody there who can hold your hand. So it's not, oh, you've done the training. See ya. No, you've done the training, you get a job, whatever support you need as you're growing along the way, he will provide that support for you. So that way you build your confidence as you go. So thank you very much, Samuel, for that. You know, yeah. I don't know if people have questions. Maybe, you know, in terms of your training. So you mentioned, I don't know, 4 different trainings that you do. How much do these trainings cost and how long do they run for?
Okay, our training is a duration of 3 months. And how it works is we understand that there is a need for you to generate revenue while you're training. You can't use all the money you're bringing into Canada for training. You have to feed your family, you have to feed yourself. So the training schedule is always 3 days during the working week, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then we have Saturday and Sunday. Tuesday to Thursday is always 2 hours training, 2 hours for each day. And Saturday and Sunday is 6 hours training. So you have 3 months, you know, to be able to have that skill set and compete with anyone, right? For each of what we're offering is just 3 months, but you'll be having 5 days, but different hours. Weekend is 6 hours each, and the 3 days is 2 hours each. Our SCCM goes for $6,000 for, you know, because most organizations here going through that training, you pay $10,000, $12,000. And we understand that having a community within Canada or outside and building that network for people to be able to have that, you know, professional colleagues, build, you know, people, you know, we believe that we can make it relatively, you know, low, you know, so that people will be able to afford. We understand moving in requires a lot of cost, you know, and focusing and saying pay extensive amounts of money. It's just like saying, oh, you could go do, you know, menial jobs before you can have that fund. And we understand that when you come in fresh, you're unstable, and you get that unstable for like a year, it is difficult to get what you're looking for. You know, so our SCCM goes for $6,000, and SICO goes for $5,000. What's it called? Microsoft Azure goes for $7,000 because we get a combination of Microsoft Azure and AWS. Then what's it called? The last one, what's it called? Database administration, which has to do with data analysis. It's $3,000. You know, even though you'll be doing a lot, but that has to do because what you earn is not as high as every other one. It's competitiveness. You know, the more you spend, get your jobs. But doesn't mean that because you don't have that fund to spend on high jobs, you're not going to get a job. I have friends in the database industry that earns $120,000, and you could do 2 jobs: remote, where you don't need to go to office, and also work at home, which you could earn $180,000. You know, moving in fresh within 3 months, getting a job. This is not trying to sell, but I'm telling you the realistics. We've been here, you know, not for me, it's 2 years and 2 months, but I've gotten, and I'm still at a starting point, you know, praying to God to grow, you know, so that is just it. So that is it for the 4. That is the cost implication and the duration which you need. So we're expecting that on the 4th month, when you arrive to Canada, you can get a job, or if you're outside of Canada, as the program starts, we'll guide you on how to get a better job, work on your resume, tell you what they need to hear, and to prepare you, you know, for that great job of yours. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that. So does anybody else have any questions? And I know, like, you know, when he started to say the amount of money, I'm sure some people were like, hey, my God, Father Lord, help me.
Yes.
The
I have a question. Yes.
The truth of it, let me just say this and we get to here. The truth of the matter is you might be thinking that these costs are really high. They're not. You're talking $3,000. Like most contractors, like what he's talking about, contractors, in a week you make more than $3,000. So you're paying $3,000 for 3 months, something that's just going to be a 1 week salary when you start working. There are people earning $5,000 a week, $10,000 a week. Like we know them, they're there, they're here. You know, so don't think about the amount of, oh my God, or don't think you have to pay all the money up front. You know, I'm sure Samuel has like, you know, installments where you can break the cost. And like he said, you will also be working while you're learning. So it's not like, oh, it's not full-time education where you're spending every day, every hour of the day, and you're not bringing in any money. You will be working on whatever job it is while you're learning, but you really have to stay focused and really be serious about it, because if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the results. Like there's a reason why 70% of people in Canada earn minimum wage. It's just the reality, 70%. Only 30% of people are thriving in Canada. That's just the reality. But you have to put in the work to get the results that you're looking for. So all the things he's talking about, like he's constantly learning. I know, I worked with him, he sat close to me. So I used to see him, he was constantly learning, multiple screens, always learning. And that's how he's been able to build himself and grow to where he is today. So don't focus too much on, oh my God, $6,000 all the time. Forget all that. You know, just focus on what kind of life do you want for yourself, not just in Canada, anywhere else in the world. You can get a job in the UK, get a job in the US. Technology is the same everywhere. What kind of life do you want for yourself? And once you like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I want to have that kind of life where money no longer becomes a problem, you can do whatever it is you want to do, and you're growing constantly, and you make that investment. So I think Femi wanted to ask a question first, so we'll go with that question, and then we'll answer some of the other questions.
Yes, thank you very much, Salman, for breaking down the whole process. So my question is, does this apply to those who are already in Canada, what especially?
Okay, like I mentioned the other time, you could learn in any part of the world. Okay, we have the resource that allows you to connect anywhere you are in the world, to connect into our infrastructure. We have infrastructure on premises, you know, well secured. You could connect, and throughout the entire period, you'll be training with us. You'll be connecting to live server, you know, to do your assignment, to learn, because I said 2 days, 2 hours during the weekday. That's 2 hours per day, 2 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours on Wednesday, 2 hours on Thursday. But you have the 22 hours to yourself to learn within our infrastructure. We're going to give you a lot of assignments. We're going to drill you based on life challenges. Majority of the people, I'm not going to be the only one training. I have also a lot of experts, you know, in different fields that will be training as well. And you'll be able to connect into those infrastructures to learn. So you can be anywhere in the world to learn, you know, what you want to. Because we know that you can be like, we in Canada as well, we still provide remote resource for people outside Canada. So we could work anywhere, meaning that you can learn just the same way you have Udemy, you have LinkedIn that you could learn, and that's the same platform. And we have our own on sites that you could connect remotely.
Okay, thank you very much. So that means that getting into Canada is solely our own responsibility. What you do is to sort of do like a soft landing for those who want to start working in the IT field in Canada.
Not necessarily. In my own area, I deal with people, you know, that want to learn IT. Not necessarily that when you want to come to Canada, you can be willing to come to Canada and have a soft landing, and you might also be anywhere in the world and continue to develop yourself. But when it comes to moving into Canada, Joe is your best person to guide you on, you know, migration and all when it comes to immigration and all. She's vast when it comes to that, and she understands all those technical requirements and everything to get you settled. So if you're planning to come to Canada and you don't have the skills or what you need to do or the processes, just talk to Joe. Joe will give you the best advice on how to go about different processes and how you can come into Canada if you plan to. But if you want to work anywhere in the world, the program is still also for you because the whole IT industry is growing. It's the same anywhere, be Canada, be UK, US, anywhere is the same, but different way of operation. That's just it.
Okay. Like, I hope that answered your question. Like, I had a session a couple of weeks ago on immigration, and I'm going to have another one maybe in another 2 weeks on what your immigration options are to come to Canada. So you might want to, well, you get an email because now you're on my list on when that's going to hold, so you can know what your different options of coming to Canada is. But again, you can always send me a private message and we can have that conversation. So someone is asking, Sharon is asking, the installment plan. Like, if somebody wants to do a payment plan, what kind of flexibility do you have?
Yes, we have a payment plan, say, because it's always a 3-month program, you could spread it in 3 months, each month, you know, so you could have, divide into 3 and make your payments each of the month. And some people, we can also work with how you want it. Some might believe they want 2 payment plan, but they want it, say, every 45 days. That's 1 month and a half. You know, we could do that as well. And we can work with your payment plan. Some people might say, okay, weekly, or when I get, you know, maybe every 2 weeks, depending on how their inflow, we could spread across board.
Okay, good. And someone was asking, is it Canadian dollars or is it US dollars?
It's Canadian dollars.
Wow. No, you guys, I'm sorry, like Canadian dollar right now. Okay. So that's amazing that it's Canadian dollars. You know, if it was US dollars, even my heart to start beating for you as well. But you know, it's a really, really good deal, I think. Someone's asking, did you say MCCM? And is it Microsoft Azure? Is Azure? And so the second one, AZURE.
Yeah. The first one is SCCM. That's the old name. It's called System Configuration, you know, Manager, System Configuration Center Manager. That's the old name that it's called. Microsoft recently changed the name to Microsoft's Endpoint Configuration Manager. And the whole essence why the name changed is because of the new integration in terms of features. Now they've integrated, apart from the configuration manager, they've integrated Microsoft Intune that allows you to be able to integrate with cloud. They now have desktop analytical. They have Octopilot and also device management. So a lot of things has been built into it. So the name has changed. And so, like I said, it's an integrated solution for managing devices, both in terms of security, both in terms of task sequence for operating system deployment, both in terms of upgrades and all. You know, that is what it is for that, SCCM. That's the local name. A lot of people are still not used to Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager.
Okay, cool. Shay's asking, how is this applicable to those outside Canada? I guess we've already talked about it, and those planning to relocate. Like, yeah. It's just a very good path to go into because these jobs are very hot. Like, pandemic really showed us which jobs are really hot. A lot of people lost their jobs, but technology jobs are still hiring today. Like, it's very, very hot. And, you know, if I know anybody who's been able to get a job from outside of Canada to come to Canada, he got it in technology. And that's because these skill sets are still in very high demand and we just don't have enough people. Like, I've been on teams where we've been trying to hire developers for a very long time. We just can't find the people. They just don't exist. And, you know, Samuel will tell you as well, a lot of developers here, the way they change jobs, oh my God. Because today, someone is earning, they offer you $80 an hour. And you're like, man, I'm a big boy. Next week, a recruiter is calling you, I have another job for you, $95 an hour. Whether you sign 6 months contract or 1 year, you're like, okay, see ya, bye, I'm out of here. So developers, that's why you hear from him. He's already done God knows how many jobs in 2 years. And so that's how they are. There's so much high demand for this skill set. You know, you will never have to look for a job. The jobs are just a dime a dozen. And, you know, there's a lot of high demand and we just cannot find enough. I manage 30 teams. You can imagine each team has 45 developers. That's a lot of people. You know, so we're constantly trying to hire. We're looking for these skill sets, just can't find them. You know, so it's a good way. You know, even if you want to come to Canada, you can try to get a job from outside Canada. It's not so easy. But once you come into Canada, then it becomes very easy to get a job. You're in very much high demand. Pascal is asking, how do I start? Is it how do you start the training or how do you start which one? Please clarify what your question is. And then someone is saying, how is this going to help someone who is already on Express Entry Pool and looking for a job? Yeah, so exactly. So this can help you look for jobs, but you have to really, really be very, very highly skilled for companies to be able to file for you and for you to be able to get a work visa to come to Canada. So it's good, but it's still difficult to get. But if you were going to get a job in Canada from outside of Canada, it will be in technology. Even most of the provinces who do a provisional nomination, like IT is always on top because we don't have enough. So we're constantly looking for more and more people in the field. So it will definitely help your opportunities for coming into Canada. What if you're completely new to IT? Okay, someone wants to know, what if you're completely new?
If you're completely new, that's why we say that either you have a little knowledge of IT or you believe that you have substantial knowledge of IT. It is easier even when you don't know. Your mind is open. Your mind is open to know what is it. Because, okay, let me put it like this. When you need to take your decision, you need to look at the market trend. You don't go into IT because you want to go into IT. So when you're new, it's just like you changing your skill set. It's a smooth training. We train you even when you have the knowledge as if you don't have knowledge of IT, for you to be able to grab the grassroots and grow as the training grows, to have that knowledge and you'll be able to speak. My current manager that I report to studied business administration in school. And he's the global IT manager in all these countries I said that manage your resource. And he studied what? Business administration. So you can be new, but doesn't make you less important or less person that could learn an IT and grow and get to where you're looking for.
Okay, so Helen has a follow-up question. She's saying, can I just jump into any of the trainings? Or is there a particular path you recommend people to go through?
For, like we said, each of those trainings that we offer, like I said, we offer the Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager, SQL, the cloud, and Microsoft Server 2019, which is the latest. You can pick anyone. We're just going to train you from start to finish, as if you have no skills. So you could move to anyone. They're all interwoven. Like if you do SCCM, you do part of SQL, you do part of AD, you do part of GPO, that's group policy objects. You do cloud a little bit, and you work with Windows Server. So everything is embedded little. Then you can decide to now stand and say, okay, I want to go full into security. I want to go full into SQL. I want to go into, system administration where it has to do with Microsoft Server, So it depends on where you want to start.
Okay, thank you for that. Adiola is asking, is there certification for the trainings?
We offer you certificates of completion, but what we do is that by the time you do the training, we're going to tell you the right certification to do, and you're going to get. And the plan is that in 3 months' time, we'll also be having a center, our own center, where you could do your professional exam. So you finish the training. While your brain is still hot, you go into the exam, and we'll also keep a close tab on you because you always be a reference to every other person coming in. So we're going to have that done at the end of each of the programs.
Okay, cool. So some other people are asking that, do you have a website where they can go to get more information, or how can they reach out to you to take advantage of some of the things you're talking about?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? Sorry, I was reading your comment.
So I was asking is there a website where they can learn more about, the trainings that you offer, so they can see the list of the trainings and, be able to pick and choose what it is they want?
Yes, we have a website called crossworldstc.com. However, the courses are not listed because we're transiting from one host to the other. So you can see everything about us, but the courses you're going to apply for will be available by tomorrow, and you can start making registration, or learn more about what you want to go into and being able to take a strategic decision of what you want, So the website is, like I said, Crossworld, that is as in CROSSWORLDSTC.com.
Crossworld. Okay, so I'll send it with when you get the email after this masterclass, I'll send the website, the URL in there, so you don't have to try to write it down or remember. Okay, so someone is saying, it's SQL, SQL.
It's SQL.
Yeah. Can someone pay part of the fee and complete the fee when the person must have gotten the job? I know so many trainers that try that, where we're still waiting for the balance of payment. And it's not a case of whether you don't trust people, but if people don't feel the pinch, they usually don't put in the work. You feel like, oh, okay, so I'll just pay 20%, and then whenever I get a job, you're not going to be as determined to get that job. And that's just the human nature. It's just reality, So, and it's unfair on the trainer to now be the one pushing you to get a job because he needs to get paid, So if you're committed and wow, I've paid this amount of money and I'm feeling the pinch, my bank account is definitely feeling the pinch, then you will do whatever it is you need to do to make sure that you do get that job. And like he said, he will support you every step of the way. You will know how to interview for these jobs. You have a good resume that will get your phone ringing all the time with recruiters looking for you. So,
and to add to that, Joe, is I've also made up my mind to employ when I identify your skill set and I know you've learned through and you listen to everything and you're good, we can employ you and pay you, to work for us until you decide to change your job. Because for everybody we
get
train,
better than this. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I don't know if you speak to other trainees, but it really doesn't get better than this. Where he's even saying now, if you're really good and you've really learned everything that you got, we will hire you and pay you until you get a better job, until you start job hopping. Like I was telling you how these people.
I hope he's not psyching us though.
I'm not. I am not. And the reason why
I know where he lives.
No, you know why I said that? The reason is that where we are now, we're aspiring to grow. And part of what we do is called Managed IT Services, where we manage resources for different organizations, right? When we get all these jobs, we cannot, for me as an example, I cannot be everywhere at the same time. I need to be able to, I'm getting from companies I'm working with, I'm getting from the contract, I cannot keep it to myself. I need to expand. The only way I can expand is to ensure that I empowered other people. And how do I empower you? We train you because we're giving you the industry knowledge. And when you acquire it, we believe that you're a tool to us. And also you'll be a tool to yourself and you can grow from there. So if we believe you get more jobs that pay better than we do, you can decide to move. You understand? But we only give jobs to people that focus to learn and receive everything we're passing through and also develop themselves, that have the skill set, because you're resourceful to us as well. Why we will train you and you go and work for other people when we can train you to make more money and you make more money for yourself? It's strategy. You understand? So that's just it, not psyching you, Ellen.
I'm motivated now. Highly motivated.
So I'll share Samuel's contact details. So if anybody wants to reach out to him directly and really ask questions, if you're not sure which path to start on, then he can have that conversation and really, really guide you. Because, a couple of weeks I was saying that a lot of people who come to Canada, and even most places, when you start out your career, the mistake people, or the challenge that most people have is that they don't have somebody to guide them. Like there's no one saying, take this step and take this step. And most people are just lost. They're just guessing. And then you're talking to people,
that's my
people who have not even accomplished anything. You're asking them for advice. And of course, they're going to tell you what they know, which is go and do hard labor first. Go and do hard labor for a few years and pay your dues.
Or you go for PSW. Or you do cleaning.
Exactly. But now you have somebody who is not just teaching this stuff. He's in the industry and he now has a business and he's saying to you, I will even hire you, if you're serious enough and you're focused and you actually learn this stuff. Like I've never seen this done before. Like if you've been on any of these my sessions, no other trainer has offered these kind of things before, and that's exactly what you need. Someone or an organization to really give you that opportunity to get your hands dirty, and that will just propel you. And you can start job hopping up and down, because that's what.
I've been here for 1 year now, as in 1 year now. When I came in, my plan was to go into IT from Nigeria. But when I came in, a lot of people misled me. It's too difficult. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Don't do it. Go and do something else. And I've just wasted 1 year doing nothing.
See? So it's going to change. So today, take action. It's going to change today. So when I send out that email, connect with Samuel and really get started on the right part. To be honest, I got lucky in Canada, to be honest, but I've never had to do any of those kind of jobs. And, I had some guidance and support for people who were really, really doing well. And those were the people I really focused on. They were able to kind of guide me and help me. And that's what we want to do to people as well. We want to help and guide people. We don't believe, it's not a chop alone kind of mindset. Why? Let everybody be chopping. That's all we have. There's enough to go around. The more people that we can make successful, the happier we are, the more fulfilled we are. So it's not so much about the money. We're not doing these kind of initiatives because of the money, but we know that things you give to people for free, they don't appreciate anyway. So feel the pinch a little bit, apply yourself. And, a year from now, this will all be history. You'll be like, oh, John, I just bought a Range Rover. Oh, I just bought a this. And I'm like, well, kudos to you, man. Good luck. you know? So that's what this is about. But anyway, I want to get through some more questions before we run out of time. Pascal, you will get the video so you can rewatch it. So yeah, so it's just about learning different IT skill set. How's to okay.
There's Olufemi.
Olufemi, what did he say?
Olufemi is asking, he said, I see
Unix.
all mention about his Microsoft products. I major in Unix. The thing is, Unix, there's job opportunity in Unix, but the money is not much. I'm not saying that you cannot get a job, but the demand is very low. You know, even Linux, people use Linux, but when it comes to system administration, you know, but you see not really a lot of people ask for it because it's good. It's more secured environment, but the demand is low, so the money is not that much. And for you to get a high-paid jobs with your Unix skills or the Linux skills, you need to focus also on Windows and also go into a lot of management tools in IT to get to that aspect. You see people looking for, they'll say managers with skills in Unix, Linux. They're expecting that you'd have worked in different environments, understand different technology to be able to add people that can do that job.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, you know, people who do like mainframe stuff, the jobs are not that many. Like for every 100 IT jobs, maybe there's just one looking for a Unix, a Linux skill set. So it's better to focus on the jobs that are in high demand. You know, for me, I don't like to apply for jobs. Every job I've gotten, people look for me. I let them be rushing me. That's my own, that's how I like to operate. So rather than going into something that is in such low demand where you're struggling with people who have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years, how about you just focus on something that is really in high demand where regardless of how many people study it, the demand is still so high because we just don't have enough IT experts here in Canada. And it's not just Canada, even in the US as well. We just don't have enough people. So I hope that was helpful. We're going to send out the list of all the training and the prices as well. And maybe just a bit about the installment arrangements that he mentioned. Are there a lot of opportunities for React developers or front-end developers?
Yep, there is lots for front-end development. You remember, Joe, when we were working at Bell Media, the guys that work. So you see, but people must focus on UI and UI design or UX designs, you know, but they're also front developers, or not that much. But when it comes to user interface design, there are a lot of jobs. So it's not just about the coding when it comes to HTML or, you know, HTML for the front end or ASP.NET or ASP, you know, but when it comes to design of what you want to do. In Canada, we work based on planning and execution, meaning that if you need to design the front end, give me the design. How does it look like, you know? But I can now tell you, okay, go into front end and start developing, you know? So there are more jobs in UX than front end. But you can get front end.
I just put in a bit of context. So I do work with over 30 teams. So if you have a team that has 9, 10 people, like you have like maybe 4 back-end developers and then 1 front-end developer, you know, like it's like ratio 4 or 5 to 1. And that's how the demand in the marketplace is as well, you know. So you can be a front-end developer, that's fine, it's great. There's still high demand for those skill set, but not as much as, you know, the back-end developers. But there's jobs. That's the reality. The truth of the matter is, like, it doesn't really matter. There's jobs. There's tons of jobs in IT, and those jobs are just getting more and more. They're not going away. Companies are just innovating, because if you don't innovate, you die. So they constantly, everybody's going through a digital transformation. People are innovating, and more projects are being spun up. So there will always be a job for people in IT, regardless of if it's front-end.
And there will be more jobs after pandemic.
Yeah, oh yeah.
More jobs, but it's now going to be focused on specialization. People are going to be looking at cloud. People are going to be looking at you managing those resources online. You know, people are going to be looking at SCCM, because every organization wants to get secured. You know, I see someone asking about cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity, even when you're in cybersecurity, you cannot deploy all your application, you know, without SCCM. Anything you want to deploy to all your nodes, you know, your endpoint, your devices, anywhere in the world, you need SCCM to be able to go through them, because that is where you manage all those devices, manage your softwares, manage your licensing, and what have you. You know, so every cybersecurity person gets all their nodes patched through SCCM. So it's still an aspect of it. So there are more jobs in cyber as well. Because in the recent time during the pandemic, a lot of organizations has faced brutal attacks. Like my company, in the past 1 month, we've been attacked like 6 times, but they can't get in, right? Which is because we have all the right expertise or right expert in the right field to be able to do what they need to do to get all these things done. The majority of the cybersecurity are getting high paid now because there are lots of attack everywhere.
Okay. Great. So we're 5 minutes almost done. So maybe we're just going to round up if we don't have any other questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask questions. So what happens from here? So like I said, I'm going to send out an email just to thank you for showing up, because it's always good to show up. So many people registered, but not everybody showed up. So if you showed up, you're already halfway there. And then the next thing is, what do you want to do going forward? Do you want to take action and really tap into these great things that we're talking about, regardless of where you are in the world? You can start to apply all this knowledge and get those really, really fantastic jobs that are out there in technology. And then also you will get from me, the email with the courses, the cost, and even if you feel like you can't afford it, or you feel that money is a barrier, like, don't just be quiet. Don't just say, this is not for me. It's too much. I can't afford it. No, reach out to Samuel and see, because sometimes it just takes, once you're determined enough, the solution will show up. So don't be too focused on, this money, I don't have the money.
And that is a
Maybe I'll lend you
point
6 months time. Sorry, Len?
I think that is a good point you just mentioned.
Yeah. So don't let that stop you. Don't let that, stand in your way of what you want to accomplish with your life. Reach out to Samuel, start having those conversations and see if there's an arrangement that he can make for you, and how you can, pay in other, whatever it is. Just don't just be quiet and just say, I can't afford it, and that's the end of it. And the last thing I want to say is, not to buy my book, but even though if you want to buy my book, it's going to be available on Amazon next week. It's called I Rise. I don't know if you guys can see it. But, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. And, I really like the feedback, but what I really want to know from you guys is, what other things do you want to learn? Like, if there are things that, you want to know about, or I have a lot of access to a lot of people, but I don't know who to bring on this masterclass, because I don't know what exactly it is, what kind of information you're looking for. So if there's something in particular that you want to know more of, or something you want to learn, send me a message, reply to my email, and I will find somebody that can come and have a session with you guys. Because for me, my end goal is really, how can I enable you guys to be the best that you can. I believe that everybody's created for greatness, but sometimes you just need that small push, or that's one sentence that somebody's going to say that's going to transform your life for good. So I really want you guys to, connect, reach out. Don't just, I've listened to you for 1 hour, I'm going to go to bed now. No, take action. Determine today that my life is going to change. Like 2020, everybody's crying, 2020 is such a bad year. No, you're going to be saying 2020 is my best year yet. This is my new job. I started it during the pandemic. I don't even know where my office is. I don't know what it looks like. But people are saying there are no jobs. And me, I'm like, but people are rushing me. Like, I'm choosing. I'm like, do I even want a job? And that's where you want to be. Like, get away from the mindset of, it's not for me. I can't do it. It's not possible. Other people have tried. They feel. Who cares about other people? It's about what you want for yourself. And we're telling you today, whatever it is that you want, you can accomplish it. You can achieve it. Work with the right people. Listen to the right people. Don't just listen to anybody. People that haven't done anything with their lives. They say, don't do this, don't do that. No, you decide for yourself what you want to do and be ready to take action.
You might want to take Oluwaseyi Akindele's question. I posted it to you. Look at it.
I had issues with networks. I'm not sure that how applicable to those. How is it applicable to those outside of Canada? I'm planning to relocate.
Yeah, we talked about that. That we can get you trained before you come in, and you can start applying for jobs while you're outside as well. Because once you have that skills, because Crossword is not just a company that started in Canada. Crossword started from Nigeria, and the company has been existing since 2005. So even when you're outside Canada, to get a soft landing, you can also say you've been working for Crossword if you're trained through us. Crossword exists here in Canada, so it's not just a Canada organization, and we can still reference you while you're outside of Canada if you want to relocate. But if you're not relocating and you want to do just any other country, we will still get you trained to meet up with the industry standard, you know, that you can work in any challenging, fast-paced environment.
So we're less than a minute to go. Any final words or thoughts from you, Samuel, and anybody else? Because we'll continue the conversation after I send out the email. So any final words?
From me, my final word is never limit yourself. When I was about to leave Nigeria for Canada, people said, are you not? You know, you work with an NPC, a top guy in an NPC, you leaving? I looked at it and I say, by the time I leave NNPC, because of the frustration to set up an organization, I might end up being a farmer. It is not what I want. You know, and I don't want to, after coming in NPC, made a lot of money, somebody come up with a failure business proposal, and all the money I get from my retirement goes into it and everything goes. And now, like history, he works with an NPC, oh, look at him. And I looked at it that the only way I can be useful after when I'm out of service to continue to be useful to not just me, but also to the country and the environment is to be where I am going to be respected and I can be able to continue to give consultant advice and continue to make money till I die. So never think it's difficult to start. Take that bold step. A lot of people that tell me, then are you not? Now they say, oh, thank God you left. You know, so it is it. I struggle to have a real operational company in Nigeria, you know, but nothing really serious. Today I have 2 companies that it's functional and I'm also working at the same time. Okay, so never think taking a bold step on your new achievements of what you're planning, you can fail. Everybody fail and everybody succeed. When you fail, you learn from your mistake and you grow to achieve what you want. It's all about focus and strategy to achieve it. Thank you very much.
Okay. So thank you very much. It's 101, so we really have to go because I really do like to keep the time. So you expect the email from me. You get contact information of how you can reach out to Samuel and Crossworld. You get information about the replay, so you get the replay. And, you know, like I said, if there's other things that you want to learn or you're still unclear about sales, or you want to go into a different line of business, you want to learn about sales, whatever it is, let me know and I will set up a future session. And for those who are looking for advice on immigration, there's another one coming up soon with another immigration consultant so you can know what your options are to move to Canada. So thank you once again. We're going to go out and enjoy the sun here in Canada.
Okay.
The contact will include the phone numbers too, right?
Phone number. Okay, we'll send email addresses, and then when you connect with him, he can give you his phone number.
Yeah, there'll be office phone number. You can call the office number. It's going to be routed.
I'm already in Canada. It's easier for me to just call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, definitely, Ellen.
you.
It will be there. We'll
we
be
gotta go
available.
now. It's 1:02. All right. Have a good night, everybody, and thank you for showing up.
Oh
All
my
right.
Ciao.
Thank
Bye,
you.
ciao.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you.